Right friends, welcome back to main events, 15th week, 11th April to 17th April, important highlights. Visit of Ashton Carter, US Secretary of Defense to India, and in principle agreement for logistics support agreement, that is LEMO. We are going to deliberate on 3 foundational agreements and what are the pros and cons and why United States of America wants India to sign them. Then visit of Maldives president to India, and we are going to have a perspective on the India-Maldives relations in recent times and shift towards China. We are going to deliberate on that. Prime Minister launches Electronic National Agriculture Market or eNAM. Then first Maritime India Summit, this is the first ever Maritime India Summit to showcase the opportunities available in maritime sector, and the implementation schedule of Sagarmala project for development of ports will be ready in 5 years, and the schedule is reduced from 10 to 5 years. NPCA, National Payments Corporation of India, launches a unified payment interface. From now onwards, the transfer of money, that is digital payments, will be very easy. Foreign Ministry suspends diplomatic passport of Vijay Malya, and we are going to deliberate on what are the options left for India. Then India Water Week from 4th to 8th April, and let us deliberate on the aspects in detail. First one is the visit of Ashton Carter, US Secretary of Defense to India, and India, USA in recent times, if you analyze the relations, last year when Barack Obama was the chief guest for Republic Day celebrations in the year 2015, he visited India, and on 25th January 2015, US-India vision for Asia Pacific and Indian Ocean region was unveiled. And at that time, both the countries stated the importance of safeguarding maritime security and ensuring freedom of navigation throughout the region, especially in South China Sea. And basically, this is with reference to China's aggressive postures in South China Sea, because China is in standoff with several Asian neighbors with regard to several islands in South China Sea. And second one is in the year 2012, India and United States of America created a defense technology and a trade initiative, and this facilitates co-production and co-development of defense equipment. And US provides technology and guidance for building modern weapon systems in this country, and it will give boost to Make in India initiative of Government of India. So these two are most important when you look at India and US relations in recent times, that is US-India vision for Asia Pacific and Indian Ocean region. Second one is defense technology and trade initiative, and during the past 15 years post 2000, defense and strategic relations between India and USA increased substantially, they improved substantially. And second important point is, during the past several years, United States of America is one of the largest arms supplier to India. And at the same time, don't forget, India conducts highest military exercises with United States of America, and this shows a strengthening bond between India and United States of America during the past 15 years. With this backdrop, let us look at the visit of Ashton Carter, and here both the countries in principle agreed for logistics support agreement, and the full name of this agreement is Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement or LEMO. And by signing LEMO, it would make it easier for both the militaries to share each other's facilities. And this proposal came up a long back, and UPA government resisted this move, and finally now NDA gave green signal to it. And why USA in need of this agreement, all these things we are going to deliberate now. And if you look at 3 logistics agreements, or you can say foundation agreements of United States of America, and United States of America wants India to sign these agreements. And the three agreements are Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, popularly known as the LEMO, or Logistics Support Agreement. And by signing that agreement, one is militaries can share each other's facilities, and USA also feels that it would help strengthen the capabilities of armed forces to better deal with the security challenges of 21st century. In addition to this agreement, there are two more foundation agreements: Communications Interoperability and Security Memorandum of Agreement, or SISMO. Third one is Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement for Geospatial Cooperation, or BECA. And what is the purpose of these two agreements? The purpose is the agreements would help the countries make better use of equipments that have already been procured from United States of America. Then United States of America also feels that they would enable technology transfer and seamless communication between military systems of these two countries. So the main purpose of these agreements, military facilities can be inspected by both the countries, and in fact each other's facilities can be shared. And second important point is technology transfer and seamless communication between the military systems of two countries, or you can say the main purpose of this agreement is joint military exercises, sharing each other's facilities, technology transfer, training, and more defense equipment sales, right? And now you may ask, why USA is insisting on these agreements? I have listed 4 reasons. Please look into this. Shifting of power globally from western part of the world to Asia is clearly evident, and there is no doubt that the future lies in Asia because of its demography. Second one is rise of assertive China with its territorial claims in South China Sea. All of you are well aware, China is in standoff with several Asian neighbors with regard to Paracel, Spratlys, Scarborough, Shoal, and all these disputes are with the Asian neighbors, and USA wants to strike equation with the countries which are antagonized to China. Third one is US wants India to play the role of net security provider in Asia. It requires India to build its defense capabilities, and in the process United States of America will become strong defense and strategic partner with India, and ultimately this is to counter China. Fourth one is with India, Japan, United States of America wants to counter the influence of China, Russia in the region, and the basic purpose USA wants to strike a chord with India is to control China in Asia Pacific region in future. And if you look at India, what the defense analysts say, defense analysts, I have listed 4 points. First one is, in due course of time, it may lead to formal India-US military alliance, which is against the basic tenets of India's foreign policy for so long years, that is non-alignment. Second important point expressed by some experts is India is not going to gain much by signing these agreements. It may antagonize traditional defense partners like Russia. It will further antagonize China, as India may eventually be dragged into the game plan of United States of America to counter China in Asia Pacific region. And before signing these agreements, India has to weigh these options carefully, and if required, the agreements may require modification, and India has to tread cautiously so as not to antagonize some countries, because India's status of non-alignment after independence, we maintained somewhat reasonable stance of non-alignment, and by signing these agreements probably India may move towards United States of America bloc in near future, and India has to weigh its options carefully before taking this important decision, which will have a bearing in 21st century geopolitics of the world. Right friends, let us look at next important aspect, that is the visit of Maldives President to India. And before going into it, Maldives in perspective. What is geography? It is an archipelago. Archipelago is the group of small islands in Indian Ocean. It consists a chain of 26 atolls, and the majority population is Muslim, and it got independence from United Kingdom in 1965. And don't forget, the average ground level elevation is just 1.5 meters, and with the global warming, this country also may be affected in future if sea level rises. And another important point is the lowest natural high point in the world at 2.4 meters is in Maldives. So Maldives does not have mountains, and the highest peak is 2.4 meters in Maldives. Capital is Malé and currency is Maldivian rupiah. And relations in recent times with India, I am talking about for the past few years, India is mostly silent when opposition leaders were arrested, and there were allegations that democratic institutions were alleged to have been stifled. And second one is, India is not happy with the perceived tilt towards China, and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has so far not visited this country. And fourth important point is termination of airport contract awarded to GMR Group of India is another soaring point between both the countries. And before going into the aspects further, I would like to see past 50 years in perspective between India and Maldives. India and Maldives, good friends till 2012, and I put the issues of India Maldives during the past 30-40 years. First one is operation of Indian Army, Operation Cactus, came to the rescue of a Maldivian government when a coup attempt was tried on Maldivian government by a group of Maldivians supported by pro-Elam group in 1988. Second one, Maldives several times in the past supported India's bid for permanent membership of an expanded United Nations Security Council. And India maintains naval presence in Maldives since 2009. Then after the devastating tsunami on 26th December 2004, Indian Coast Guard's Dornier aircraft was the first to land at Ibrahim Nasir Airport. In the year 2014, when Maldives was into severe water crisis, India sent water to the island nation. Then till 2012, Maldives maintained India first policy. Please remember and please note, till 2012, Maldives maintained India first policy, and India enjoyed good neighborhood relations with Maldives, but things went wrong subsequent to 2012 when the resignation of Mohammad Nasheed, the first democratically elected head of the state, resigned in the year 2012, and subsequently tilt towards China is clearly evident. And if you look at this country, the country was ruled for 30 years by Maumoon Abdul Gayoom. From 1978 to 2008, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom was the president. Subsequently, the first democratically elected president was Mohammad Nasheed, who took charge in 2008 and was forced to resign in 2012. And now the president is Amin Abdul Gayoom, and tilt towards China is evident after Amin Abdul Gayoom became the president. And if you look at the issue, tilt towards China in recent times, Chinese funded expansion of international airport recently started, because the Chinese presence in our backyard is very important. That's why when we are looking at the neighbors of our country, I give more emphasis on what is going on in that country with the assistance of China, because in our neighborhood, if you look at Nepal, if you look at Sri Lanka, if you look at Maldives, If you look at Pakistan, the presence of China is to be analyzed critically when you look at the relations of India with its neighbors. That's why I spend more time in concentrating on Chinese presence in our neighbors. The first point is Chinese funded expansion of international airport recently started. China is investing heavily in Maldives in infrastructure projects, including Maldives-China Friendship Bridge, which connects airport. And there are news reports that Maldives will allow China to build a port at Gathu Island, and it is at the entrance of 1.5 degree channel, and it is an international major shipping passage. The fourth point is 60 to 70% of external debt of Maldives is with China, hence the country heavily dependent on China. Then fifth point is last year Maldives took a decision to lease its islands liberally, and this will ultimately benefit China. And next one is it is a part of China's Silk Road strategy, and this is another country where the economic might of China is determining the relations in our neighborhood. We have analyzed in recent weeks China-Nepal and strategy of China in Sri Lanka, and all of you are well aware about China-Pakistan economic corridor in Pakistan. And now if you look at Maldives, Chinese presence is clearly visible, and it shows that its tilt towards China, Maldives' shift towards China is quite evident. And the visit of Abdullah Amin, Indian Prime Minister, said that Maldives is among India's closest partners, and Maldives thanked India for protecting his country from possible punitive actions from Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group. And the democracy is alleged to have been stifled in Maldives, and at that juncture India supported Maldives against the punitive actions by Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group, and Maldives thanked India for protecting the country. And both the countries signed 6 agreements, including the one to expand defense cooperation, and other agreements include avoidance of double taxation, conservation and restoration of ancient mosques, tourism, etc. And most important aspect is Chinese presence in Maldives, and Maldives tilt towards China. Right friends, look at the next one. Prime Minister launches electronic national agriculture market. This, if implemented properly, is going to become turning point in agriculture. And this electronic national agriculture market will initially enable farmers in 8 states to sell 25 commodities in 21 wholesale mandis. There are 585 mandis in the country, and government wants to bring them into the electronic platform by March 2018, and Prime Minister launched this portal for trading in agriculture produce. It is basically to liberate farmers from the clutches of middlemen and to realize a fair market value for their yields. And the Prime Minister rightly stated that it is going to be a turning point in agriculture. Right? So this is going to transform agriculture sector. If implemented properly, farmers will get reasonable price, transparent price for their products. And please look into this slide. 21 APMC mandis from 8 states connected, and all 585 APMC mandis will be online by March 2018, and here liberal licensing of traders and buyers, and one license for a trader valid across all the markets in the state, and trading to begin in 25 crops including wheat, maize, pulses, oilseeds, potatoes, etc. And here freedom of farmers to sell at any mandi of their choice, and formation of cartels is not possible now. Cartels cannot be formed by the trading groups, right? So what are the advantages of e-Nam? It will provide transparency in pricing by removing the information asymmetry between sellers and buyers. Information asymmetry between sellers and buyers will be removed. then it will enable farmers price discovery, which ultimately results in higher earnings to farmers. Then it will liberate farmers from middlemen or commission agents. Then it will also reduce transaction costs and provide a single license valid across all the markets, and it will help farmers identify best buyers, and it will set quality standards. And here the requirement is the states have to modify their APMC acts, and some of the states have done that. Right friends, first ever Maritime India Summit. What is the meaning of Maritime India Summit? And by the by, it was held for the first time, and the place was Mumbai, basically to showcase the potential of India, and the potential is huge in our country in modernization of ports, development of new ports, developing inland waterways. All of you are well aware India has got more than 7,500 kilometers of coastline. Not only that, India has got more than 14,000 kilometers of inland waterways, and emphasis government is planning to give port-led industrial complexes. Then shipbuilding, ship repair and ship recycling is another industry where government wants to showcase. And the Prime Minister inaugurated the first ever Maritime India Summit, and the government stated that the capacity of ports is going to be increased from the existing 1400 million tons to 3000 million tons by 2025. And Prime Minister also stated that the intention of the government is to promote port-led development with modernization and integrate them with SEZs, port-based smart cities, industrial complexes, warehouses, logistic parks, etc. So, this is basically to showcase the huge opportunities in ports and related infrastructure. And in this context, the Minister for Road Transport, Highways and Shipping, Nitin Gadkari, stated that the Sagarmala project will be ready in 5 years. Initial time period was 10 years and it was reduced to 5 years, and it will create a massive 10 million jobs. What is the purpose of Sagarmala project? The basic aim of Sagarmala project is basically to optimize multimodal transport, interlinking of various modes of transport, which will ultimately reduce transshipment costs and which will ultimately reduce logistics cost, and it will also minimize time and cost of export-import cargo logistics. Other two important aspects are locating bulk industries closer to coastline to lower the costs, and locating manufacturing clusters near ports to improve export competitiveness. When the manufacturing clusters are located nearer to ports, what will happen? Then the transshipment cost will be reduced, and ultimately our exports will become competitive in the world market. That's what is stated by Nitin Gadkari. Right. So, Sagarmala project will integrate multimodal transport to reduce logistics costs. Right friends, look at economy and banking. NPCA launches a unified payment interface. You may ask, what is NPCA? NPCA is National Payments Corporation of India. It is promoted by some important banks in the country. And the basic purpose of National Payments Corporation of India is to integrate retail payments digitally, and it is primarily behind Aadhaar based payments integration. And what is the unified payment interface? The unified payment interface basically leverages on the Aadhaar number already shared by customers with their banks. Customers can receive and initiate payments through unique ID mapped to mobile application. So, here the advantages are users need not reveal personal information like bank account details, credit card or debit card details, because so far the fear of using or transferring money through digital is the fear of theft of information. that is the bank account information, credit card or debit card information or details. There is some doubts in the minds of the people whether this information may be stolen by somebody. Now customers need not have that doubt because you need not reveal your personal information. Hence there is every possibility that more customers may take this route as a fear of theft of details is not there. Second important point is, as the customers' details were pre-verified, the authentication process is quick and seamless, as a single click is enough to ensure two-factor authentication. So these two are the advantages, quick and fast. Second one is your details, that is bank account details, need not be revealed, and this basically works on the Aadhaar number details already mapped to your mobile application, right? And Foreign Ministry suspends diplomatic passport of Vijay Mallia, and 3 passports are there. One is a diplomatic passport. This is given to diplomats and other personalities like Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members, and some people are eligible to get this diplomatic passport. And second one is official passport. When Indian officials are traveling abroad, they use this official passport. And for common man like you and me, it is a general passport. So there are 3 categories: diplomatic, official, general. Mr. Vijay Mallia holds diplomatic passport because he is a Rajya Sabha member and his term ends on 30th June 2016. Under section 10A of Passports Act, the External Affairs Ministry has suspended the validity of the passport of Vijay Mallia for 4 weeks. Mr. Mallia was asked to respond within a period of 1 week. If there is no response or the given response is not satisfactory, government can revoke the passport under clause 10(3) of Indian Passport Act, and this can be done in the interest of the country's sovereignty, integrity or security and its friendly relations with other countries in mind, right? So this is about Vijay Mallia's passport. And if Vijay Mallia does not respond, what are the options left for government? The options left for government are, the government can move competent court for issuance of a non-bailable warrant. Then government can request Interpol to issue red corner notice. We have discussed in previous lectures what is Interpol and when it is used, what is meant by red corner notice. In this case, government can request Interpol to issue red corner notice to Vijay Mallia. Then another important point is, government can file extradition request with United Kingdom under 1993 treaty. So these 3 are the ways left for government if Vijay Mallia does not respond. And if you look at the last event, that is miscellaneous. India Water Week, India celebrated Water Week from 4th to 8th April. And this is in the mid of a worsening crisis in some parts of the country, especially Bundelkhand, some parts of Telangana, Marathwada region of Maharashtra. And for this India Water Week, Israel was the country partner. Why Israel was chosen? Israel is the pioneer in water conservation and water recycling. And about water and the problem faced by India and the experiments in Israel and some more information we will deliberate in lecture part of 16th week. And please look at some other details of this India Water Week. India has 18% of the world's population but only 4% of world's water reserves. This is most important point. India constitutes around 17 to 18% of the world's population, but it constitutes only 4% of world's water reserves. And of the average annual water availability of 1869 billion cubic meters, 40% is groundwater and 60% is surface water. And out of 1869 billion cubic meters, 1123 BCMs is utilizable quantity. And interesting point is, annual per capita availability of water is reducing drastically. In the year 1947, annual per capita availability of water in our country was 6042 cubic meters, and in the year 2011, it became 1/4 to 1545 cubic meter because of explosion of population during the past 60 to 70 years. And in the year 2025, our per capita availability of water is going to be 1340 cubic meters only. Right friends, let us conclude here. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.